Hello everybody, welcome back to Silver's Matrix. And this very video, we're going to discuss about a very dear book to me, which I gave it another read, and maybe I would like to discuss it with you all. So, there's this moment you're in the back seat, the windows are down, music's blasting, you're listening to your favorite song, and for the first time in a long time, you feel okay. Maybe not sad, maybe not happy, but present, alive, infinite. So, I would just reveal this book to you. It is none other than The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. The Perks of Being a Wallflower isn't just about high school or growing up, it's about the quiet kids, the ones who watch, who listen, who notice, who observe, and obviously who feel too much and show and say too little. If you've ever felt like an outsider, if you have ever been stuck between who you are and who you're trying to become, this book might just find you exactly where you are. It's messy, it's painful, it's beautiful, and more than 25 years later, it still speaks to the parts of us we don't always show. So, here are some of my favorite quotes from this very book, and I hope whoever is watching it resonates with it. So, these are my few quotes. So, before that, I would just let you meet the characters. So, this book basically had a movie adaptation which was released in the year 2012, and this was the star cast. Obviously, you might remember Emma Watson, the Hermione from the Harry Potter series. So Emma basically plays the character of Sam. This dude right in the center is Charlie, who is the protagonist of our story. He is basically an introvert, and as I told you in the description, it's a book about the introverts who feel too much and show too little. So basically, Charlie is somebody who personifies that very quote. And this dude beside Charlie is Patrick. So these three are basically kind of best friends, and the story revolves around them. Basically, it revolves around how Charlie develops his instincts and how Charlie, who has been somebody inflicted by past trauma, he basically lost his best friend, Michael, and after that, how is he going to resume his high school and the story unfolds. I won't give you any spoilers though, but these quotes would qualify to be spoilers. But anyways, that's not the point of this video. So the first quote, which you might have all heard in every other YouTube short or Instagram reel, is "We accept the love which we think we deserve." This was told to Charlie by his English teacher, Mr. Bill, and this is kind of raw and very deep because when Charlie basically asked Mr. Bill as why his sister was basically hit by her boyfriend, and why does she disregard it? Why does she love him even more? And even after that incident, why does she let it go? Why she's still with him? So Mr. Bill says to Charlie that we accept the love which we think we deserve. And this is very disheartening as well as something weird for people who have not been in love, also for the people who have been, because it's a paradox. Because we inherently accept things which we think we deserve, and we don't see things from a third person's perspective. It might be very wrong to somebody who's saying from a third person, but you just let it happen to you because you think that you won't get something else out of it, because you think that this is the thing which you deserve, and something or demanding things more than that is something which you will never get. So you don't ask, you just let things happen, and you just don't realize that how much you're demeaning yourself, how much you're demeaning the other person as well, because you're basically trying to accept the bare minimum, the bare things which are just necessity. It doesn't make you sound so demanding, it doesn't make you sound needy. These are the things which have to be there. But even asking for them feels like that you're demanding a lot. And this is what this quote means according to me. So it's kind of heavy, but this basically captures the essence of the whole book. And if you ever get a chance, you read it. If you ever get a chance, you even watch the movie. Do give it a watch because it's not just about high school. It's about the things which we have all felt, which we will eventually feel at some point of time. But the things which some of us would try to shrug it under the rug. So, anyways, the other quote is about things change and friends leave. Life doesn't stop for anybody. This is so true. Like, even if in your high school you might have signed pacts, like we would stay in touch, even though we would go out for college in different parts of the country. Some might even go to different parts of the world, but we would stay in touch. But eventually, with time, that string is basically loosened up, and you guys just lose touch. There's no confrontation, there are no fights, but you just don't talk to that person who used to be your best friend anymore. What would you attribute it to? Because there was no fight, there was no confrontation, there was nothing which could deter your relationship with your friend. But eventually, you just fall apart. This is what time does. Because now you guys don't have the reasons to talk about. It's just nostalgia, pure nostalgia. And sometimes it becomes awkward as well. That how do you find a topic to talk to your old friend because you guys have been in two very different directions. You don't know about his life, and the other person neither does know about yours. So even if we have had a great or a good bond back in time, that doesn't guarantee that it would stay the same. It does if there is an effort from both of the sides, but that's what life is. Everybody leaves, friends leave, things change, and it doesn't stop for anybody. So moving to the third one. So I would just give it a read for you all. So I guess we are who we are for a lot of reasons, and maybe we'll never know most of them. But even if we don't have the power to choose where we come from, we can still choose where we go from there. We can still do things, and we can try to feel okay about them. This is kind of hopeful, right? Because it basically instills a hope within us that, okay, I might not change the conditions which I am born in or the conditions right now, but I have the efforts with me. I can basically do things which could change things for my future self. And even if we don't have the power to choose the family of our birth, the body which we reside in, our re- relatives, the school we go in, because eventually what they say is that it's all planned, it's all the universe wish, and there is very little free will. But the thing is, we still have some power, we still have a little power that we could change a few things. And in this very world, just changing something would lead eventually to more bigger changes. And that's what this quote means. So the next one. It's just that I don't want to be somebody's crush. If somebody likes me, I want them to like the real me, not what they think of me, not what they think I am. And I don't want them to carry it around inside. I want them to show me so I can feel it too. So, how cute is this? Like, this is what Sam tells to Charlie. So, Charlie basically is younger to Sam, but he kind of develops that feeling of likeness and love towards Sam. So, what Sam wants to tell over here is that And it's true to everyone. Like if we have a crush on somebody, we just have a different image of them in our minds. We just think of them very differently. It's all pink in the skies, everything, butterflies in the stomach, everything. But it's just a crush, and you're so reluctant to speak it to that very person whom you have a crush on. So, since Charlie had a crush on Sam, and when Sam confronted him that if he really liked him, so Sam wanted him to show it to her. Like, if you really like somebody, if you have a crush on somebody, then you just uh, portray an image of themselves in your head. That's not exactly who they actually are. It's just your mind creating an image of them. And what Sam wants is that Charlie should basically convey that feeling to him and get to know her a little more. And if you ever have a crush on somebody, just don't carry it around yourself. Don't carry it inside. Just let them know. Show them how it feels to you and let them feel that too. How beautiful is this? Like, really beautiful. I just like this quote a lot. So, this is something which would resonate with every introverted, meritorious kid who never raised a hand in class, but deep down knew that the teacher was noticing. But for those who were kind of backbenchers but were very smart, so this is what Bill, the English teacher, says to Sam. Charlie, sorry, this is what Bill, the English teacher, says to Charlie, not Sam. So he says, Charlie, do you know why I gave you all the extra work? Charlie, do you know how smart you are? Charlie, you are one of the most gifted people I've ever known. And I don't mean in terms of my other students. I mean in terms of anyone I've ever met. That's why I gave you the extra work. I was wondering if you were aware of that. I just want you to know that you are very special. And the only reason I'm telling you is that I don't know if anyone else ever has. Let that sink in because deep down, every other meritorious student craved for that teacher's validation. And I don't know if somebody told you that you're special, but I do want to let you know that you, my friend, are very, very special because not everybody has the capacity or ability to accept that nobody would ever tell it to them. So I want to tell it to you that you are special in every way, every aspect of your life. And I just want you to realize that even if the world doesn't convey it to you, but you have to believe and you have to believe in your own ability that you are special. So this is how beautifully Mr. Bill says to Charlie, because Charlie has always been an introverted kid. If you see in the movies also, during the first class, during the first English lecture of high school, Mr. Bill asked many questions. So Charlie never raised a hand. He used to write it, he used to scribble it in his writing pad, but he never raised hand. And Mr. Bill noticed it. He asked him after the class that why didn't you raise your hand? Why didn't you answer? But Charlie was very introverted, very shy to raise his hand because the thing is, in high schools, people consider people who raise hands or who answer questions as the teacher's pet, nerds, and all sort of words. So that makes you really conscious about speaking so much in class. But we have to be very appreciative of Mr. Bill, so because not every teacher is so understanding to notice such minute details. So I truly appreciate Mr. Bill. The next one is I think that if I ever have kids and they're upset, I won't tell them that people are starving in China or anything like that because it wouldn't change the fact that they are very upset. And even if somebody else has it much worse, that doesn't really change the fact that you have what you have. How powerful is that? Because we've all had certain situations when we told our parents that I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling very well. And in the Brown families, the very first reply to all sort of these questions or these situations is that you have never seen the true world. You've never seen the people who are begging on the roads, on the streets, how badly they live. You are taking your life for granted. You're taking the things which we have given to you for granted, and especially people who have uh, like who have reached a stage from a very humble background to something more uh, eloquent right now. They basically have this very reply to the children most of the time. So it's not just confined to the Brown families. It's basic human behavior to all the parents. So to all the parents or would-be parents, I would like to tell you, or I would just like to convey to you that when when a child is in distress, he or she doesn't want to hear that uh, maybe somebody else is starving, maybe somebody else is having it way worse than what you're having it right now. That doesn't take away that pain. That just instills more guilt and remorse. It doesn't take away the pain. So even if this comparison do exist, and the kids need to be very humble and should not take things for granted because they have been very blessed to have parents like you who have provided things to them. But in situations like that, you have to be a little more considerate to your child's feeling. And even if somebody else has it much worse, that doesn't really change the fact that the child still is hurting. So, anyways, the next quote. But after a while, I didn't do things because I didn't want him to think different about me. But the thing is, I wasn't being honest. So why would I care whether or not he loved me when he didn't really even know me? So this is an excerpt of the conversation between Sam and Charlie. So Sam was in a very toxic kind of relationship where the guy was a big red flag, and the guy was basically cheating on her. And Sam was very different around Craig. Craig was the name of her boyfriend. So they had a major breakup after the prom night. So when Sam and Charlie were having this conversation, Sam basically told him that she was very different around him. She was timid and she was adapting to his ways. She was not actually what she actually is. She didn't feel like herself. And somehow that is what happens when you try to truly impress a person, and this is kind of detrimental to your personality. So, in this very quote, where Sam says that she hasn't really showcased what she actually is to Craig, and now there's no point of her lamenting to the fact that he didn't love her because he actually didn't know of the actual her. He actually knew of some version of Sam which she portrayed. It was not the original Sam. So this line is very powerful. So why do I care whether or not he loved me when he didn't really even know me? The next quote and the most favorite is, it's strange that times people choose to be generous. For somebody at some point of time might have hurt you, but eventually they would have figured it out and they would have said sorry, but the time is all gone. It's too late now. So this quote is truly perfect. That as humans, we don't realize the importance of times, and when we really do, it's too late, and that generosity doesn't even hold that value anymore. So this is a final scene of the adaptation of this book, whereby Charlie is now at the back of the trunk and he's all Like he's just feeling that he's alive. And in that moment he says that we are infinite. So with this, thank you for watching, and if you ever feel stuck in your life, I think books are the best companions. I was recommended this I was recommended about this book when I was 19, when I was in my first year of college and I wanted to develop a reading habit. Honestly, I didn't read it back then because it was too monotonous to read a book. But with time, I realized that okay, reading book is not just about vocabulary building, it's also about getting to see things with different perspectives. So I would definitely recommend this very book to everybody, especially to the teenagers and also to the young adults. This might heal a void which you never really cared of. So, anyways, thank you for watching.